You are in space. There is no wind, no echo, no sound. Earth shines in the distance and, suddenly, something goes wrong. You scream, but nothing happens. The sound doesn't travel. It dies right there, trapped in the absolute silence of the universe. Now tell me, have you ever imagined what it would be like to stand before infinity and realize that, even screaming with all your strength, no one could hear you? Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so we can explore more mysteries like this together. This silence is not simply the absence of noise. It is the inevitable consequence of the physical laws that govern the entire cosmos. Sound is a mechanical vibration that propagates only through a material medium, gases, liquids, or solids. On Earth, when you speak, your vocal cords make the air vibrate. These vibrations are transmitted from molecule to molecule until they reach the ears of the listener. It's as if each molecule were a messenger passing the information to the next, until the message reaches its destination. In space, those messengers do not exist. The near-perfect vacuum of the cosmos has matter densities so low that there is no way to sustain that flow. To give you an idea, at sea level, each cubic centimeter of air contains about 10 to the power of 1 molecules. In interstellar space, there is, on average, only 1 atom in the same volume. It's like trying to form a human chain with billions of people, but finding only 1 volunteer scattered every several kilometers. Simply impossible. Now imagine this. If you were inside a spacecraft, protected by an artificial atmosphere, you could talk normally with other crew members. But what if you went out for a spacewalk? Without a radio, your words would never reach anyone. The sound would remain trapped inside your suit. Makes you think about the importance of the technologies that allow astronauts to talk to each other over hundreds of kilometers, doesn't it? These communications rely on electromagnetic waves, such as radio waves, which do not need matter to propagate. When an astronaut speaks, their voice is converted into electrical signals that travel through space at the speed of light. Upon reaching their destination, these signals are converted back into sound. In other words, what we hear is not the original sound traveling through space, but a reconstruction based on data. Think about the space battles we see in movies. How many times have you watched explosions with deafening sounds? The reality is very different. A spacecraft could explode right in front of you and you would not hear a single thing. You would only see a visual spectacle in complete silence. Does that surprise you? Then leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But the fact that we cannot hear anything does not mean the universe is silent. It is full of phenomena that produce waves invisible to our ears, electromagnetic radiation, high-energy particles, and even gravitational waves created when massive objects like black holes collide. With the right technology, these signals can be translated into audio. Have you ever heard the sound of a black hole? It is unsettling, almost as if the universe itself were breathing. The silence of space also has a profound psychological impact. Here on Earth, sounds alert us to dangers and changes. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live without the sound of rain, the wind, or approaching footsteps? In space, this sensory layer disappears completely. A threat could be nearby, and you would never know until you saw it. Isn't that frightening? In some places, the silence reaches negative decibels. Under these conditions, the only thing you would hear would be your own body, the beating of your heart, the air entering and leaving your lungs, the blood flowing through your veins. Experiments in anechoic chambers on Earth show that few people can endure more than a few minutes in such conditions. Do you think you could withstand the total silence of space? Historically, this understanding became clear only with the era of manned missions. Before, we knew theoretically that sound does not propagate in a vacuum, but it was through the radio transmissions of astronauts that this became evident to the public. The famous Houston, "We have a problem" did not travel as sound through space, but as an electromagnetic signal processed on Earth. Now imagine if space had air like Earth's. Sounds could travel across enormous distances. We might even hear stellar explosions from light years away. Does that sound fascinating? In reality, it would be dangerous. The shock waves from a supernova could destroy spacecraft and threaten entire planets. Not to mention that the resistance of air would make space travel much slower. Cosmic silence, therefore, is not a flaw. It is an essential part of how the universe operates. It shapes our technologies, defines the limits of exploration, and reminds us that life on Earth is possible thanks to extremely rare conditions. Here, we can talk, listen to music, hear the sound of ocean waves. In space, all of that vanishes. But even without sound, the universe communicates. It sends light, radiation, gravity, messages we must decode. Telescopes and detectors become our cosmic ears. Every signal captured is an opportunity to learn something new about our origin and our destiny. This combination of grand events happening in absolute silence is perhaps what most intrigues the human mind. It is a paradox that fascinates scientists and explorers. The most violent place in the cosmos is also the most silent. Does that spark your curiosity? Then subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because we will explore many other paradoxes of the universe here. Ultimately, the explanation is simple. No one can hear you scream in space because sound needs a physical medium to exist, and in a vacuum, it simply does not propagate. But the meaning goes far beyond that. It is a reminder that our senses, our perception, and even our survival depend on a very specific set of conditions. Now I want to hear from you. If you could spend 1 minute in space, safely, would you choose to hear the translated sounds through instruments or experience the absolute silence? Leave your answer in the comments, and if this video made you think, don't forget to give it a like. It helps me bring more content like this and continue uncovering the mysteries of the universe with you.